Good afternoon, students. So today we'll discuss semiconductor electronics part about the characteristics of the diode. In the previous class, that is on Friday, so we have discussed about what is a PN diode or PN junction diode, and also formation of the PN junction, how the junction will be formed, what is a depletion layer, what is a barrier potential, and also how we can connect a diode in a forward bias and also reverse bias. So up to this concept we have discussed. So I think we have the idea what is the major difference between the forward bias and reverse bias. Means generally in case of the forward bias, how we have to connect the battery to the diode. In case of the diode, there are two terminals. One is p-type semiconductor and one is n-type semiconductor. So p-type semiconductor of the diode is connected to positive terminal. N-type semiconductor is connected to negative terminal of the battery. Then we can say diode is in forward biased. So sometimes we can compare both also. And in case of the reverse bias, p-type semiconductor of the diode, we can connect it to the negative terminal. N-type semiconductor is connected to positive terminal. Then the diode is said to be in reverse bias. In a forward bias, what will be happen? Because of the biasing or because of the connection of the battery, majority carriers, that is holes in p-type semiconductor, electrons in n-type semiconductor are moving towards a junction or they are pushed towards a junction. Whereas in the reverse bias, because of the connection of the battery, majority carriers in the p-type semiconductor, majority, that is holes, and also electrons in the n-type semiconductor are moving away from the junction because they are attracted by the terminals of the battery. In forward bias, when they are moving towards the junction, what will be happen? Thickness of the depletion layer decreases because they are compressing, pushing the terminals. So that's why the thickness of the depletion layer decreases. Whereas in the reverse bias, as electrons and holes are moving away from the junction, thickness of the depletion layer increases. In a forward bias, what happens to barrier potential? So here, whatever the applied voltage is there, it is a favor to the barrier potential. That's why as applied voltage increases, automatically the barrier voltage, what will be happen? Gradually decreases. It is unfavored to the barrier potential. So in case of the forward bias, the barrier potential decreases. Whereas in the reverse bias, barrier potential increases. Now in a forward bias, what happens to resistance of the diode? As applied voltage increases, the resistance of the diode gradually decreases. Whereas in the reverse bias, it will be exactly opposite. As applied voltage increases, the resistance of the diode also increases. In case of the ideal diode, in the reverse bias, resistance infinity. Whereas in the forward bias for ideal diode, resistance 0. Now in case of the forward bias, the current increases. We can measure with milliammeter. Whereas in the reverse bias, current decreases or almost negligible. And if any small current is there, because of the minority charge carriers, that current also called leakage current or dark current, we can measure with microammeter. So it is about forward bias and also reverse bias. So in a lab also, we can conduct an experiment by taking one diode with a positive with a p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor will be given. A small junction diode will be given with the two connecting LEDs. By connecting the diode in a forward bias, voltage, we have to change the voltage steps wise by using one rheostat, and in each and every step we have to note down the current, and then we can draw a graph also, so we can verify the characteristics of the graph. Same way, by taking a same diode and one battery, we can connect the diode in a reverse bias, and steps wise we have to note down the current by varying voltage. Also we can study the reverse bias characteristics. So voltage current characteristics of diode. So V stands for voltage, I stands for current. VI, voltage and current characteristics of diode or PN junction diode. Voltage current characteristics of a PN junction diode means so graph we have to draw by taking a voltage on x-axis and a current on y-axis, and by observing the graph we can understand how the current is flowing through the diode. So the type of characteristics can be called as voltage current characteristics of the diode generally. Now in this we have two types of characteristics. First one we can say forward bias characteristics. When the diode is connected in forward bias characteristics, or when the diode is connected in forward bias, simply I'll write here, when the diode is connected in forward bias. So I'll take here one battery with the positive and negative terminal and one plug key or switch, on and off switch, here plus minus, and this will be battery or voltage V should take, and this battery will be connected to one potentiometer, or which is also called a rheostat. So generally the purpose of the rheostat, it is act like a potential divider or variable resistor. We can change the potential difference by altering the rheostat also. So it is RH symbol I am writing, rheostat. So it is a plug key K, it is a battery. Now I'll take one diode. I'll use one diode here. So it is already mentioned, the symbol of the diode with the P type and N type like this. Left side P, right side N, that is a PN diode. And this will be connected to the rheostat like this. So this terminal is connected to the rheostat. So this will be RH, rheostat. And the right side we have to connect it to 1 milliammeter. Here I am connecting 1 milliammeter, MA, and also connected to the rheostat like this. Now by using a milliammeter we can measure the current, small current. But how we can change the voltage across the diode? By using a 1 voltmeter. So here there is a need to connect 1 voltmeter. Here it indicates V represents a voltmeter. So it is a complete circuit. So draw the circuit. So sometimes 2 marks or 3 marks question will be asked. Draw the voltage current characteristics of diode when it is connected in forward bias. When the diode is connected in forward bias, draw the voltage current characteristics. This will be the circuit, simple circuit. Now draw the circuit. So if you want to check the voltage current characteristics of the diode in the lab, what are the required apparatus? One battery. So BA represents one battery. One battery is required. So K represents plug key. So here K represents a plug key. Next RH indicates rheostat. Rheostat. Next, say it is a D, I am writing here. D represents a PN junction diode or simply diode. Next, V represents a voltmeter. Voltmeter. So BA for battery and K for plug key, and a rheostat represents RH, diode capital D, and a V stands for voltmeter, and one more MA indicates milliammeter. So these are the important apparatus which we are used to verify the voltage current characteristics of the diode in forward bias in lab. So how we have connected? First, one battery positive terminal is connected to the rheostat, and also battery negative terminal connected to the plug key. Again, plug key is connected to the rheostat. From rheostat, we have to connect one milliammeter, and from milliammeter to diode and also voltmeter. Next, voltmeter to again diode p-type semiconductor, and also it is connected to the upper terminal of the rheostat. These are the important apparatus. So for each and every apparatus, what is the purpose? Means battery, it can give the EMF or potential difference. Plug key act like on and off switch. Whenever current is required, we can allow. Whenever if you want to stop the current, we can act like off switch. Rheostat act like a potential divider or a variable resistor. We can change the potential difference according to the required values, 2 volt, 4 volt, 6 volt, and so on. Diode, already we know it is we can use forward bias, also reverse bias. And a voltmeter purpose to measure the potential difference or the voltage. And a milliammeter used to measure small currents in the order of milliamperes. Now, first we have to switch on the battery. Plug key also closed. Then current is allowed to pass through the diode. Now, first I am maintaining by adjusting the rheostat. Voltmeter is made to 0. So just I am taking a voltmeter is equal to, for example, just roughly I am writing here. It is a voltmeter reading. It is a current reading. First I am placing a voltmeter is equal to 0. Trial number. First trial I am taking a voltmeter is kept at 0. Then how much current passes? And the given diode is, for example, germanium. The given diode is made of germanium. Whenever 0 volt applied means how much current passes? For germanium, there is a potential barrier. So at the junction, there is a wall or a barrier which doesn't allow the charge carriers to cross the junction. Up to 0.2 or nearly 0.25 or 0.3, there will be no flow of current. That's why when we applied 0 voltage, both electrons and holes cannot cross the junction, cannot combine. That's why there is no flow of current. So current is equal to 0. Second trial, I am increasing this value to 0.1 volt. Also, the required value how much? Approximately 0.2 to 0.25. But we applied only 0.1. Also, no current flows in the circuit. Third trial, I am applying a 0.2. 0.2 means almost nearly reaches the barrier, but also there is no flow of current. Next, fourth one, 0.3. So actually 0.2, whenever it crosses nearly 0.2, 0.25, the current begins. But here there is a flow of current. For example, I am writing a 2 milliampere. A small current flows in the circuit. Next I am applying a 0.4 volt. So current will be increased to 8 milliampere. And I am applying a 0.5 volt. So current will be nearly 15 milliampere. Check here how the current changes. Beginning almost up to certain voltage, there is no flow of current. So nearly there is no flow of current. And above certain voltage, the current begins to increase sharply or at exponential rate. So generally the minimum voltage at which the current begins to increase at exponential rate can be called as, or just begins is called as threshold voltage or cut in voltage or knee voltage or cut in voltage. So that's important. So define cut in voltage or threshold voltage or knee voltage, KNEE. So what is a knee voltage or cut in voltage or threshold voltage will be asked definition. When the diode is connected in forward biased, when the diode is connected in forward bias, the minimum voltage, the minimum applied voltage at which the current just begins or the current begins is called as a threshold voltage or cut-in voltage or knee voltage. And up to knee voltage or less than knee voltage, there is no flow of current in the circuit because there is a barrier potential, thickness of the layer also more, resistance of the diode also more, hence no current flows. Once it reaches the barrier or just it overcomes the barrier, then what will be happen? The thickness of the layer, barrier potential, resistance of the diode decreases, and both electrons and holes can cross the junction, can recombine, and the bonds will break and current will be flows in the circuit. So that's why above knee voltage or threshold voltage only the current in the diode in the forward bias increases. How it will increase? At exponential rate. So that's why we can draw the data, we can take the data and we can draw simple graph also. From the graph we can understand what is the nature of the graph and how current flows also we can understand. But no need to remember this data, only rough data I have given. Now how to draw the graph means, check here. One graph will be drawn here. On x-axis it is a y-axis, it is origin. I'll take applied voltage V in volts. On x-axis will be taken, like I may take it is 0.1, 0. And so on, or 1 volt, 2 volt, 3, 4 and so on you should take. Here also current, but how the current taken in milliampere will be taken current, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and so on you should take, your choice. But here no need to take a 1, 2, 3, 4 volt also, but your choice 0, 0.15, correct, 0.15 or 0.05, 0.1, 0.15, 0.2, 0.25, 0.3, 0.35, 0.4 also you can take, your choice. Now what we can, what is the nature of the graph? Almost up to 0.1 volt, or I'll take 0.1, 0.2 and so on. I'll take it is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 and so on you should take. So up to 0.2 nearly there is no flow of current. Almost the nature of the graph is a straight line like this, and thereafter the graph gradually increases like this. So check the graph. So first here whatever the voltage, almost there is no flow of current, so that is a less than barrier potential, correct, less than potential barrier, and above barrier potential or exactly at barrier potential the current just begins. So the voltage, minimum voltage at which the current begins can be called as that is nothing but knee voltage or cut-in voltage or threshold voltage. So here we can write VC, it is equal nothing but cut-in voltage, or that is also called as knee voltage. So VC is nothing but called as a cut-in voltage or knee voltage, KNWE, knee voltage, or it is also called a threshold voltage, So above threshold voltage in the diode, current increases at exponential rate. Below threshold voltage there is no flow of current, so that act like one critical or nothing but threshold. So that is only one important value. If you, for example, if you select silicon, for silicon, what is the threshold voltage or cut-in voltage means approximately 0.7 volt. For silicon, sorry, for germanium, nearly this value will be critical voltage is equal to 0.2 volt, approximately 0.2 or 0.25 volt we can write, approximately 0.2 to 0.5. Experimental value, theoretical value may be little bit varied. So that is about the diode in forward bias characteristics. And here, for example, if you draw, it is having some slant or slope is there. If we calculate slope of the graph, what we can find? Slope is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. So opposite side is equal to what we should take? This one, current, and adjacent is equal to what? Nothing but voltage. So we can find slope of the graph. If you calculate slope of the graph is equal to, I'll take here A, B and I'll write C. So from this graph ABC means it is equal to BC by, we can write AC. So BC is equal, I'll take a small change in the current delta I by small change in the voltage is equal to delta V. But generally according to Ohm's law, V is equal IR or I is equal to or R is equal to V by I. But here what you have written, I by delta V means it is equal to 1 by R. So slope of the graph is equal to 1 by resistance. So reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. So if you are able to calculate the slope of the graph, what we can find? Conductance of the diode, or reciprocal means it is equal to resistance. So resistance R is equal to 1 by slope. 1 by slope. 1 by slope means it is equal to delta V by delta I, you should write. That is equal to delta V by delta I. Delta V by delta I. So the resistance of the diode in the forward bias, how to define means the ratio of small change in the voltage, applied voltage to the small change in the corresponding current is called as dynamic resistance of the diode. So that's only called dynamic resistance. So that's an important one more question. So define the resistance of the diode in forward bias, or define the dynamic resistance of the diode. When a diode is connected in forward bias, the ratio of small change in the applied voltage to the small change in the corresponding current is called as dynamic resistance. That's only called dynamic resistance. And one more, what is a cut-in voltage, or what is a knee voltage, or what is a threshold voltage if asked question? How to define? When a diode is connected in forward bias, when a diode is connected in a forward bias, the applied voltage, the minimum applied voltage, the minimum applied voltage at which the minimum applied voltage at which the current begins, minimum applied voltage at which the current begins is known as cut-in voltage, is known as cut-in voltage, or threshold voltage, or knee voltage. Cut-in voltage, threshold voltage, or knee voltage. So generally if you select an ideal diode, for example I am choosing an ideal diode, for an ideal diode, ideal diode means what is the resistance in the forward bias? RF 0. So when the ideal diode is connected in the forward bias, it doesn't offer any resistance. So what is the resistance of the ideal diode when connected in the forward bias? 0. Resistance 0 means it allows a maximum current to flow through it. That is important. So one more question may be asked. What is a resistance of a diode? A resistance of an ideal diode in a forward bias, that is 0. That is about the diode connected in forward bias and how the voltage and current characteristics will be varied. Now we'll go for a reverse bias, second one. When the diode, same diode connected in reverse bias. Reverse bias. But in the reverse bias, already I mentioned how to connect the battery. Generally, battery positive terminal should be connected to the N-type semiconductor of the diode, and the battery negative terminal connected to P-type semiconductor of the diode, so that we can say it is in reverse bias. But just we have to change either battery terminals or a diode, so then automatically it will be changed. For example, if you change here, I am changing just a battery negative terminal here and a positive here, plus and minus here, it is a battery. No change of the apparatus, observe carefully. So apparatus I am not changing, only I am changing battery terminals. Here plus place I have taken minus, minus place I have taken plus, so that it is said to be in reverse bias. Draw this diagram also. Here we should draw the graph also, but roughly I'm showing the graph here. Generally reverse bias means I'll draw the graph in a fourth quadrant or third quadrant. You can draw like this, left side. So it is x-axis, negative x-axis, negative y-axis, reverse. That's why we can draw x-axis negative side, y-axis also negative side you have taken. Now it is current I in a microampere, very small current flows in the circuit. Microampere, like may take 50, 100 microampere, 150, 200, 250, so 300, 400 and so on you should take amperes. So it is I in microampere. But here applied voltage will be taken here. V, same in volt. I'll take like 1, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt and so on you should take. Or your choice, 5, 10, 15, 20 also may take, your choice. But later I'll draw the graph. First check how the operators are connected here. In the given circuit, negative terminal of the battery, first negative terminal of the battery is connected to the rheostat and positive terminal of the battery connected to the plug key. Again plug key is connected to the rheostat. From the rheostat or plug key you should take the connecting wires and we have to connect one wire to milliammeter. From milliammeter to we have to take 2 connecting wires. One connected to the diode N-type semiconductor, other terminal connected to the voltmeter. Again from voltmeter you should take 2 connecting wires. One will be connected to the diode P-type semiconductor, other will be connected to the rheostat upper terminal. So these are the apparatus and how to connect in the circuit. Once if the circuit completed, what we have to do? We have to switch on the battery. Once if you switch on the battery, plug key also closed. Then current will be allowed. First what I am doing means by adjusting the rheostat, I will put voltmeter reading is equal to 0. So no current will be will be allowed. So I'll take here it is a voltmeter. It is an applied voltage. This will be current. And here trial number you should take. Rough readings only. Well, I am giving rough readings only. Don't write these values. First I am applying a 0 volt. So whenever we applied 0 volt means what will be happen? So there is no flow of electrons and holes and also no current passes. It is equal to 0 you should take. Now I am applying second trial 2. It is equal to I am applying 0.1 volt or 1 volt I am applying. Whenever 1 volt applied, what will be happen? Electrons in N-type semiconductor are repelled by positive terminal. Holes in the P-type semiconductor are also attracted by the negative terminal. So both electrons and holes, because of the attraction, they are moving away from the junction. Majority carriers. When they are moving away from the junction, what will be happen? There is no flow of current, but there are some minority carriers. So minority carriers may move towards the junction. They may cross the junction. They may give some current. For example, here if you take 0.1 volt or something, I am taking here 0.1. Also no current flows. Next, or your choice, you may take 1 volt also, okay. Third, next 0.2 volt and also almost no current flows. Right. And next I'll take a fourth one, 0.3 volt and no current flows. Fifth one, 0.4 volt. So as the voltage gradually increases, what will be happen? The current, because of the minority carriers, will be having a small current. For example, it is equal to 5 microampere. Next, it is equal to 15 microampere. Next, sixth one, 0.5 volt. It is equal to 20 or it is equal to 50 microampere. So gradually current little bit increases, but almost no much variation. So little bit it will be flowing in the circuit. Why little bit current flows? Because of minority charge carriers. That is also called a leakage current or dark current. But after reaching a certain value, what will be happen means as voltage increases, even if you are increasing a small voltage, suddenly breakdown takes place. So breakdown means the bonds in the PN diode breaks. Because of the breakage of the bonds, more number of minority carriers available. So because of the more number of carriers available means they can cross the junction, they will recombine and give more current. So here the maximum voltage or the voltage at the applied voltage at which the current sharply increases or suddenly increases is called as a breakdown voltage or GNR voltage. Once if a breakdown takes place in the diode, so we cannot control the charge carriers and a large current will be flowing in the circuit. Even if you are not changing the diode voltage also, a large current flowing in the circuit. So by the time almost diode will be damaged. That's why while purchasing the PN diodes, generally they will give the ratings. And this diode up to what voltage we can use, like 5 volta, 10 volta or 3 volta, 25 volta, and up to that voltage it will be safe. And above that voltage what will be happen? Breakdown takes place, the total diode will be damaged. That's why here we have to remember only one important definition. What is meant by breakdown voltage or what is meant by GNR voltage? Check here. When the diode is connected in the reverse bias, as applied voltage increases, almost a negligible current is flowing through the circuit. So here it is a negligible current. Why negligible current flows means? Because of minority charge carriers. Lesser number of charge carriers only can cross the junction, can give a small current, which is called a leakage current or dark current. But once if it reaches a certain value, what will be happen? Breakdown takes place. And because of the breakdown, the current sharply increases or suddenly increases. The voltage at which the current suddenly or sharply increases can be called as VZ. I am representing the letter as VZ. That is called GNR voltage or breakdown voltage. You're all right. In exam, it will be asked for one more question. Important. VZ represents breakdown voltage. Breakdown voltage or it is also called GNR voltage. GNR voltage. So this will be important for one more question. What is meant by breakdown voltage or GNR voltage? When the diode is connected in reverse bias, when a diode is connected in reverse bias, the applied voltage at which, when a diode is connected in reverse bias, the applied voltage at which the current increases suddenly, applied voltage at which the current increases suddenly is known as breakdown voltage. The current increases suddenly or sharply is known as breakdown voltage or GNR voltage. Observe this graph carefully. In this case, how the current will be varied almost. So if you observe carefully, between this region, up above this region, almost current negligible value. Very small current flows in the circuit because of the minority carriers. Once if a breakdown takes place, a large current flows in the circuit, like a 300, 500 or infinity, large current flows. But you have to observe carefully, even a current increases, what parameter not changes? Voltage. For example, just imagine. So the reverse breakdown voltage is equal to 5 volt. At 5 volt, what will be happen? Current will be suddenly increasing, or whenever current suddenly decreases or increases, but no change of the voltage. That's why in this region, how the diode will act like a voltage regulator or voltage stabilizer. We can use this diode by giving a simple modification. So when the diode is connected in the reverse bias, below the breakdown voltage, there is a negligible flow of current because of more resistance. Once a breakdown takes place, so even though if you are not changing the applied voltage, the current sharply or suddenly increases. So in the breakdown region, even though current increases or current decreases, the voltage remains constant. So this is a peculiar property we can use by giving a simple modification to the diode, like a voltage stabilizer or a voltage regulator. We can control the voltage. In case of the houses, whenever line fluctuations are there, up and downs. So whenever current will be supplied to directly to the refrigerator or AC or maybe TVs, so sometimes they may be damaged. To avoid the damage or to avoid the short circuit, what you have to do? So just before the circuit of TV, so we have to connect one stabilizing a box or regulating a box, so that it can control the line fluctuations or voltages. But later we'll discuss that one. So it is about the reverse bias. So in this reverse bias, you have to understand what is the breakdown voltage, but in a forward bias, you have to understand what is the threshold voltage or cut-in voltage. So these two are important graphs, and this one, voltage current characteristics of the diode in forward bias and reverse bias. Next, one application of a diode I'll give, which is called a rectifier. So diode can be used as a rectifier. Generally, what is a rectifier? What are the types of rectifiers? Rectifier. This concept also important for PU level. 5 marks question is there. So before going to discuss about the rectifier, so already you know about current. Generally, what is electric current and what is the unit of electric current also. Generally, electric current means what? The rate of flow of charge. Electric current is nothing but the rate of flow of charge. I is equal to Q by T. So the charge flowing through a conductor per second or per unit time can be called as electric current. So generally we have two type of electric currents we can say generally. One is a steady current and one is a variable, or maybe one is a DC, one is a AC we can say. First one is a DC, or which is also called direct current. So simply we can say DC. And the second is said to be AC, alternating current. Alternating current. So simply we can call AC. What is AC and what is a DC? So direct current means we have current is actually a scalar. So current is scalar, it has only magnitude generally. But here current has both magnitude and also direction. Whenever if you connect on a battery, one resistance and also some electrical components in the circuit. So generally here how we can take current means it has some magnitude like 2 ampere, 1 ampere, 5 ampere, how much current flowing in the circuit we can say. But in which direction the current flowing also we can say. But actually we know one concept, whenever a physical quantity having a both magnitude and direction, what it is called? A vector. But here electric current having both a magnitude and also direction, but we are not calling this one a vector, it is a scalar. Why it is called a scalar? Generally, according to standard definition, a physical quantity having both magnitude, direction, and which obeys laws of vectors, or like laws of vector addition, like polygons law, parallelogram law, and also triangle law. Any physical quantity is obeying these laws and also having a magnitude and direction only said to be vector. Here electric current is having both magnitude, direction, but it is not following laws of vectors. Simply we can add the electric currents like real numbers. That's why it is a scalar. Electric current is a scalar. So here, but it has both magnitude and direction. A current in which both magnitude and direction are constant. Here, magnitude of the current and also direction are constant. So there will be no change. So this type of current is called as a steady DC. This can be called as steady DC. Both magnitude constant, direction constant. For example, if you draw a simple graph like this, with the time, look at time, this will be current, for example. So both magnitude constant, direction also constant, then this type of current is called as a steady DC. So here, for example, 2 ampere current is there. So anytime you may observe, it will be having only 2 ampere and also having only unidirection. But one more type of current is there. Here, magnitude changes but direction constant. Magnitude changes but direction constant can be called as variable DC. Magnitude changes but direction constant. But direction constant. A current in which only magnitude changes but direction of the current remains constant is known as variable DC. So this type of current is called as variable DC. One is a steady DC and one is variable DC. So we can draw the graph like this. Variable DC. So time or phase angle will be taken on x-axis, current will be on y-axis. The nature of the graph will be like this. Direction same. So direction will be along this path only, positive x-axis direction only. But magnitude not a constant, not a straight line. Observe carefully. Here magnitude constant, direction also constant, then it is called steady DC. But here direction constant, whereas the magnitude changes, which is called variable DC. If for example both changes, magnitude changes, direction also changes, then it is called nothing but AC, alternating current. Second one called as alternating current or simply AC. How we can draw the graph means like this. So time or phase angle will be taken on x-axis. Either voltage or current will be taken on y-axis, V or I. So the nature of the graph will be like this. Check how the nature of the graph will be. First half of the part up to here. So the direction of the current will be towards positive y-axis side, plus. Immediately next half of the cycle towards the negative side, negative y-axis side. So minus, again plus, again minus, again plus. So what we can observe here, a current in which magnitude changes continuously, not sometime. Here first 0, next 5 ampere, 10 ampere, 15, 20, highest value 20, again 15, 10 and again 0, come to 0. So continuously changes. Again minus 5, minus 10, minus 15, minus 20. Again minus 15, minus 10 and minus 5 come to 0. So in this way, a current in which magnitude changes continuously, whereas a direction changes periodically. Periodically means what? For example, first 5 seconds or first 10 seconds, it is a plus. Next 10 seconds, minus. Again 10 seconds, plus. Again 10 seconds, minus. So periodically the direction changes. So this type of current is called as AC or alternating current. So some of the circuits requires AC components or AC. But in some of the circuits, there is no need of AC. We require only AC, DC. That's why how we can convert AC to DC. So there is a device which is used to convert AC to DC. That device can be called as a rectifier. So what is a rectifier means? An electronic device which converts AC to DC is called a rectifier. An electronic device which converts alternating current into direct current. An electronic circuit which converts alternating current into direct current, AC to DC, is called an electronic circuit which converts AC to DC is called a rectifier. Rectifier. It's a device. But what is rectification? Rectification means it is a method or a process. Generally, process of converting AC to DC is called rectification. Just one word different. Process of converting alternating current into direct current is called rectification. But an electronic device which converts alternating current into a direct current is called a rectifier. Process means rectification, device means rectifier. But here, depending upon the number of diodes we are using in the circuit, there are two types of rectifiers. One is called half wave rectifier. Rectifiers can be classified into two types. One is called half wave rectifier. Half wave rectifier. Second one B, full wave rectifier. So a rectifier is of two types depending upon how many diodes you are using and how much AC is converting into DC, how much percentage of AC is converted into DC. We have two types of rectifiers. One is called half wave rectifier and the second can be called as a full wave rectifier. Generally, in case of the half wave rectifier, in the name only they mentioned, only we are using a 1 PN diode. Only we have to use one PN junction diode, whereas in the full wave rectifier we have to use two PN junction diodes. So two PN diodes are used in the full wave rectifier, only one diode in half wave rectifier. So in AC graph, if you observe this graph carefully, highest current here, whatever flowing is called as, we can denote with I naught. That is called a peak value. Maximum value of the current is nothing but equal to peak value. So that is equal to I naught is called the maximum value of the current or peak value of current or peak current. Or voltage also you can write. V naught given means peak voltage or maximum voltage. Peak voltage or maximum means in AC graph, highest voltage is called peak voltage, highest current is called as peak current. But generally, if you are able to calculate 1/2 of the cycle you should take, and if you take a number of values and all the average values you have to take, that can be called mean value. Or sometimes if you take the square root of the squares of the mean of all the values can be called RMS. IRMS, okay, right? Square root of the mean of the squares of all the values you should take over 1/2 of the cycle or one full cycle you should take. So generally in case of IRMS and I naught there is a relation. IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2 you should write, general formula. Whereas VRMS is equal to V naught by root 2. But how we got this values and where we got this formula means in the first track we have one separate chapter, alternating current. In that chapter we can derive the formula also. So you have to remember this formula here carefully, but there we'll discuss and we'll derive the formula also, how we got this formula also. Now these are the two type of rectifiers. One is a half wave rectifier, one is a full wave rectifier. But what is a half wave rectifier means? A rectifier which converts half of the AC into DC. When we are supplying a full cycle of the AC to the rectifier, it can convert only half of the AC. That's why it is called a half wave rectifier. To convert a half of the AC cycle into DC, how many diodes you are using? Only one diode. But what is a full wave rectifier? An electronic circuit or electronic device or a rectifier which converts full of the AC cycle into a DC can be called as a full wave rectifier. If you want to convert the full of AC cycle, how many diodes you have to use? 2 diodes, 2 PN junction diodes we have to use, so that we can convert into full DC. But tomorrow class I will discuss what is a half wave rectifier. One 5 marks question is there, important. Circuit and also explanation, complete graph is there. I will discuss tomorrow class. And also what is a full wave rectifier, circuit diagram, graph, and also explanation part is there. So throughout the chapter, these two are very important questions. Both are 2 separate 5 marks questions. Don't miss the tomorrow class. So both are very important 5 marks questions. So you have to present and you have to practice carefully these 2 questions. Okay, thank you.